The way that I'm going to talk about the content strategy today is going to be broken out in two parts, but it's going to be focused around an Instagram strategy. Now, while Instagram is the mainstay for where brands live, this same content strategy can be used omni-platform whenever you're doing short-form portrait-style content. So think TikTok, think YouTube Shorts. You can now upload to Twitter as well. But in today's context, I'm going to be talking about our content strategy around Instagram. As I said, I'm going to talk about two different things. We're going to talk about the feed post as well as the story posts and the mindset and the mind shift that we have to help people make in order to make sure that they're putting the best quality content out there to indoctrinate your audience and eventually turn them into rabid fans that will want to consume your products and services. So with kicking things off, we're going to talk about the content strategy that's going to help you rapidly foster trust and authenticity with your audience, as well as what you can sell to your consumers and how they can build trust and authenticity with their audience as well. Everything that we are going to provide you with regards to the content strategy is based in data, right? Insight data that we've looked at, that Instagram has looked at and has programmed their algorithms in order to reach and keep up with the explosive growth that TikTok has experienced over the past several years. Just so you know, Instagram has changed their algorithm that they want people to become more discoverable, to where people can become more viral more quickly like TikTok has done. So that's why a lot of the things that you're going to hear are going to sound like I'm talking about TikTok when in reality I'm talking about Instagram. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about the feed post. The feed post from a mindset standpoint is where your audience is going to find you for the first time. A lot of people think that they are posting for their current followers, their current audience. But in reality, when you look at any good post or any viral post, more often than not, the insight data is going to show that most of the people that viewed that post are people that aren't already following you. So knowing that, you need to create your feed post content in a way that is providing value to the audience that doesn't know who you are yet. It's their chance to discover you, right? So you want to recycle your best content every 90 days because keep in mind, it's people that haven't found you yet that are watching your feed post. So it's okay to repost your best content every 90 days. And I would recommend that you suggest that to your clients as well. As far as what to post, we like to use an example. Everybody has heard of Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, and what he does and the strategy that he uses because he is very thoughtful and purposeful around what he is posting. So regardless of whether you've followed Gary for 4 days, 4 weeks, or 4 years, whenever you ask someone, hey, what do you know about Gary? Chances are they're probably going to say the same 4 things. The first thing they're going to say is he's an immigrant. The second thing that they're going to say is that he started in his dad's wine business. The third thing that they're going to say is that he currently runs, owns, and operates a big marketing agency. And then the fourth and final thing that they're going to say that they know about Gary is that he loves and one day wants to own the New York Jets. Now, whenever you ask someone, okay, well, what else do you know about Gary? They're going to tell you things like, oh, he's got his wine company, Empathy Wines, or he's got his NFT project, V and Friends, and things like that. But those are things that Gary wants to promote, right? The reason why these are the 4 things that you actually know about Gary is because he wants his audience to put him in a box, a very particular box, right? As a part of human psychology, people put everything around them in a box. And a lot of entrepreneurs like to say, oh, well, you can't put me in a box. I'm bigger than the box. I think outside of the box, so on and so forth. When in reality, your audience is going to put you in a box anyway. So why not create the box that they are going to put you in? So whenever you break down what these 4 things are about Gary, they're these. 1, he's an immigrant, which equals his origin story. Where he started. The second thing, his dad's wine business. That's his come-up story. The third thing is his marketing agency, and that is what you do now. People are typically very good about talking about what they do now. And then the fourth thing, the New York Jets, is a key hobby or interest. The first 2 things, your origin story and your come-up story, are very important whenever you talk about these things, because if you don't present those things, what happens is people typically won't trust you. They don't know how you got to where you are today. And typically, if you don't know someone's origin story or how they got to where they are today, regardless of their celebrity status, regardless of how much money they have, you inherently don't trust that person. You kind of get the ick whenever you interact with that person, and it's someone that you don't want to interact with that often. So that's why it's very important when developing trust to talk about these 2 things, the origin story and the come-up story. As I mentioned, people are typically really good about talking about what you do now, and then the key hobby or interest is something that really humanizes you. You're not just a value add machine constantly talking about how much value you can add to the world. Now, knowing that, the way that you talk about these 4 things, you don't want to necessarily just post content about these 4 specific things. What you want to do is you still want to bring value to your audience while slow dripping these 4 things into your content. So Gary might talk about the hurdles that he had to overcome in order to get to where he is today in owning his marketing agency. All of the things that he learned along the way in his dad's wine business that then eventually helped him launch his marketing agency to the level that it's at now. So the purpose of this is to help you and other people build your personal brand, because you are always going to have your personal brand in perpetuity. It's not something that's going to disappear. So if you were strictly marketing your marketing agency, what happens if you exit your marketing agency? You sell your marketing agency goes bankrupt. Then you're starting from scratch building another brand. Whereas if you have your personal brand built on these 4 things, you're always going to have that, and you can promote that from whatever your new venture is. You can promote that from your personal brand. Okay. As far as the tactical piece on what you want to post on your feed, it's going to strictly be Reels until Instagram comes out and updates their algorithm. For the remainder of this year and into the early part of next year, Instagram has made the commitment that they are going to actively push Reels instead of pictures and in-feed videos. The reason why, again, is because they are trying to keep up with the explosive growth of TikTok and program their algorithm in the way that TikTok has programmed theirs so that people can become more discoverable. A second thing that you're going to want to keep in mind whenever you are posting your Reels, 60% of people that consume social media do it without volume. So you want to make sure that you caption all of your Reels. That said, they have an automatic caption feature within Instagram, which is great if you cannot edit videos or you don't have somebody editing your videos for you. If you can edit your videos or you have somebody editing your videos for you, the best thing to do would be a Hormozi style caption. So you're talking center of the screen, block letters with 2-tone colors, white as a base, yellow, green, and red as your secondary colors. You're also going to want to add emojis as well as pictures and memes where appropriate. This helps capture the audience's attention while also giving people that aren't listening to it with volume the ability to know what you're saying even though they can't hear it. If you do want to post a picture, what we recommend doing, what is currently active and happening and gaining some traction, is a tweet style picture. So if you have a Twitter, you can create a tweet, and then what you can do is you can actually do a screen recording of your phone with the tweet on it, and then you can post it as a video and or reel within Instagram. So you're still working the Instagram algorithm by posting it as a video, but it is indeed a still picture that has just been screen recorded. As far as some genres or things that you can talk about if you want to do your value add content while also slow dripping these 4 things into it, which, by the way, I misspelled immigrant. Some things that you can include are rants. So emotionally charged rants. A lot of people, you look at somebody like a Gary Vaynerchuk and a lot of their stuff is emotionally charged. Tools. So anything that you can provide your audience is another great resource to provide. Case studies, your own case studies within the industry, those work really well. Lists seem to work really well. So the top 3 things, ... every marketing agency is doing wrong and not seeing success with, something like that. And then leveraging a celebrity. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a picture or a video with a celebrity, but you can still leverage their likeness and their image as part of your content. An example being the top 3 things Justin Bieber did to get in the best shape of his life before going on a world tour. So you're creating a list, but you're also leveraging a celebrity to help promote your content. So now that we've talked about what the feed strategy is, we're going to be getting into the story strategy. Now, what's important to remember is whenever we talked about the feed strategy, that is where people found you for the first time, where you are indoctrinating the new audience into who you are and what you do and where you came from, your key hobbies and interests, those things. Now that they have found you and they're choosing to follow you and choosing to consume your content on a go-forward basis, they're going to do that through your stories. And this has been proven out by studies that the highest tier form of a follower across all of the social media platforms is indeed within your stories. And so that's why at Monopolize, when we focus and work with our clients on their monetization efforts within social media, we really start and focus heavily on the story strategy. So your stories, you want to create 4 lists that you can go to and pull from on a daily basis because you're going to be posting multiple times per day if you want to get any traction within your stories. So the 4 lists that you are going to want to create are the following. The first is going to be an asset list. Now, an asset list provides credibility into who you are. A lot of people think that assets are the materialistic possessions, the cars, the clothes, the watches, the bags, the shoes. All of that stuff is included as part of the assets, but it isn't everything. The way to think about an asset list is anything that you have that your audience wants or is trying to achieve. So that can be great friendships, it can be a loving family, beautiful children, the church you go to, the school you went to. All of these things, including the materialistic possessions, can be included as part of the asset list. The second list that you're going to want to create is your advantages list. Now, this is what separates you from everyone in your niche or industry. So, typically, the way that you do that is through one of 2 ways. You talk about awards or accomplishments that you've achieved, or you talk about things that you've been able to overcome in your life or on your entrepreneurial journey, right? So, advantages could be the awards, the accolades, client awards. Things that you've overcome can be cancer, diabetes, homelessness. Your first business went bankrupt. All of these different things can be included as part of the advantages list. And we'll talk about in a little bit how you can put these 2 things together to create what's called a story arc. The third list is going to be your associations list. This is a list of the people that are in your life, okay? If you are the main character of a TV show, who is the supporting cast? And the reason why you do an associations list is mostly about helping people discover quickly who you are, but also entertainment. When you think about The Office, the TV show The Office, for example, the main character might be Michael, but people might tune into the show because they look forward to seeing Dwight or Jim on a weekly basis. Some people are going to want to watch your content because of the people that you include in your life more so than caring about you. There are 3 subcategories that are included as the associations list. And those are going to be mentors or heroes, peers, and mentees/clients. Now, the way to talk about mentors and heroes, these people could be dead or alive. You could have met them, you may have never met them, but the purpose is for people to rapidly understand who you are. So for example, if I told you that my heroes were one of the following 3, The Rock, Donald Trump, and Oprah, your brain's probably going to go in 3 drastically different directions on who you think I am as a person. So that is one way to help people understand who you are as a person quickly. The peers is going to be the people that you work with, the people that work for you, your friends, your family, the people that are around you on a daily basis, and then your mentees and clients. It's important to have these to establish credibility again, right? So the best way to go about featuring mentees and clients is going to be testimonials. A lot of people will take screenshots of testimonials from clients saying how good of a job you did for them, which is great at a bare minimum. The best thing to do is going to be to get video testimonials from your clients, from your mentees, and over a longer time horizon. So if you're going to work with somebody over 6 months, you might get a testimonial in the beginning saying, hey, sign the contract, we're going to be working together for the next 6 months. We're looking forward to give you progress reports along the way on how things are going. Then every month you can give a progress report or get a testimonial from your client that you can then post on or within your stories. So that is the 3 sub-lists within the associations list. And then the final list is going to be your connection list, connection point list. This again is what is going to humanize you. You know, this could be anything from your failures in life, your successes, where you went to school, your vulnerabilities, your polarizing beliefs, all of the things that make up who you are, and it can be as lighthearted as having a weakness for sweet potato fries, all the way into your religious and political beliefs. So whenever you ask any trust expert how to develop trust with people, it's typically one of 2 ways. One, which is the number 1 way, is your vulnerabilities. Talking about your vulnerabilities humanizes you in a way that people sympathize who you are, and therefore they connect with you quicker and trust you quicker. Another way is to talk about and have polarizing beliefs. A lot of people are afraid to talk about politics and religion, for example. But here's the thing. If you have a super vanilla brand that just toes the center line and doesn't have any, hardcore beliefs, your morals, your ethics, things like that, then you're never going to build and develop that tribe of people that truly love you. You're just going to have a bunch of people that kind of go, they put good content out there, I'll give them a follow, but I'm probably not going to buy whatever they're selling. Whereas if you talk about your polarizing beliefs, you're going to build that tribe of people that absolutely love you and adore you for who you are, your unapologetic self. So whenever you do that, that tribe is going to be the consumers of your content, your products, your services. Now with that, the pendulum swings in the opposite direction. If you have people that love you, you're also going to have haters. So if you know that you've got haters that are talking trash about you in your comments, chances are you've got that tribe built on the other side too that's going to come to bat for you and go to war with your haters. So know that you're doing the right thing if you are developing haters over time. That is the psychological piece of the story posts. Now, whenever it comes to the tactical stuff, some things to keep in mind. Just because Instagram and other platforms for that matter have features doesn't necessarily mean they want you to use them. And you can and will be penalized for using certain features. So for example, Instagram has the data and the knowledge to know that people don't actually like and watch boomerangs. I know that breaks people's heart, but for your own sake, please do not post boomerangs, because what happens is over the next 24 hours, your reach on your story post is going to get throttled back by up to 50%. Knowing that, you should never post a boomerang. There are a couple other features that will experience the same kind of repercussions, but there are times when you are going to want to use them. It's just making sure that you understand what the consequences will be. One of them is external linking. If you post an external link in your story and broadcast it to the masses, what you're doing is you're signaling that you want people to click on that link and take them off of Instagram. Instagram is very selfish. They want all the eyeballs on Instagram. So when you take people off of the platform, you are going to get penalized in the form of getting your reach throttled by up to 50% for the next 24 hours. So know that if you have a big monetization push coming up, you don't want to post an external link. That said, let's say you're speaking at an event and you're responsible for selling tickets. Obviously, you're going to want to post the link for people to go to be able to click the link to buy the ticket to come see you speak. Know that there are times when you should do it, but what the consequences are. The next thing that people need to think about not posting within their stories is going to be a repost. Instagram takes the stance that if it already exists somewhere on Instagram, that is good enough. Now, whenever you repost something, whether it's from your feed, somebody else's feed, or somebody else's story, the same thing's going to happen. Your reach could get throttled back by up to 50% for the next 24 hours. Now, that's not a guaranteed thing because Instagram is kind of secondhand guessing whether or not it's going to be bad or not to repost, but they currently believe that if it exists somewhere already, people don't need to see it again for two reasons. One, if it's a really good post, within your feed, you're only going to get a couple hundred more likes whenever people click on it within your stories. The second thing is, if it's a really bad post from your feed, Instagram takes the stance, well, congratulations, you've now made your audience mad for posting really bad content twice. So, until that really changes, we recommend not reposting unless it's advantageous for you to do so. That at a high level is going to be the content strategy for posting on Instagram. As said, you can take this strategy and go omni-platform with it as long as it's portrait-style short-form content because YouTube Shorts, Twitter, and TikTok all support this same kind of strategy, and we recommend that you use that across the different platforms. At any point in time, if you have questions, obviously reach out to the team. We'll be happy to walk through this strategy in more detail if needed, and obviously we will update you in time whenever the algorithm changes. Until then, best wishes and good luck.